All right, guys, we took our test today, so we're going to start a new unit starting tomorrow, and that's going to be talking about rationals. So we talked already a little bit about rationals when we said an integer is not a fraction, decimal, or a percent. So what is a fraction, decimal, or a percent? Those are called rationals. So we're going to write down kind of all the ones that we want you to memorize, all the ones that are really important that you see a lot. So let me start with, I have a kind of a, we're going to be using these little blocks in class, so I'm going to have a visual for you guys. The very first one is 1 whole, right? 1 out of 1. If I write that as a decimal, I'm going to write these as if they were money. So I'm going to write that as $1, and percent means out of 100. So if I had out of 100, this would kind of mean percent. If you hear the word cent, it kind of sounds like pennies, cent. So this would mean I would have 100 cents. So 100% is 1 whole. The next common fraction is a half. Let me find a half. So here's a half, and as you can see, 2 halves make a whole, of course. Well, let me line them up correctly. There we go. All right, so a half, and these little fresh stars tell us, is going to be 50 cents, all right? Because 50 plus 50 makes $1. So my decimal is 50 cents. My percent is going to be 50% because I have 50 cents. Okay, my next one is 1/3. It looks like this. It's kind of a peach color, and that is 1/3. Okay, and so 1/3 as a decimal is 0.33 repeating. It's actually 33333333333. It goes on forever if you put it into your calculator, which I think I have a calculator right here. Let me show you guys. If it'll pull up. If you type that into a calculator, you're going to get a bunch of 3s on your page. Here we go. So 1/3, so 1 divided by 3, and it looks like this. A lot of 3s. So this little line at the very top means that the 3s go on forever, and we write that as 33.3%. Okay? My next one is 1/4. That is my yellow block here, 1/4, and 1/4, it makes up 25 cents. We usually say 1/4 is a quarter because a quarter is 25 cents. And we're going to write that as 25%. My next one is 1/5. 1/5 means I have 5 blocks that make up 1 whole. And 1/5, we're going to write that as 20 cents. And that would be 20%. My next one is 1/6. Looks like this. And 1/6 is going to be 0.16 repeating, so kind of 16 cents. And then it repeats, and my decimal is going to be 16.6%. And that's going to be a repeating number as well. All right, my 1/7, I actually don't have a 1/7 block, but my decimal for 1/7 is 0.142. So you can kind of say that as 142 thousandths, or you can kind of round it and say it's about 14 cents. So my decimal is going to be 14.2%. 1/8. No, those are not the 1/8. These are the 1/8 blocks. The 1/8 blocks right here. So my 1/8 decimal is 125 thousandths. We can kind of round that and say that's about 12.5 cents. So that's going to be 12.5%. My next one is 1/9. I don't think I have a 1/9 block. I sure don't. A 1/9 block is going to be a repeating 1. So we can usually call it 11 cents with a repeating, with a line on top. So it's going to go 0.111111 all the way across. And that's going to be 11.1%. My next one is 1/10. These are these purple blocks. And my 1/10 decimal is going to be 0.10. So that's going to be 10 cents, 10 hundredths, and that would be 10%. And then my last one is the 1/12 block. It looks like this. And 1/12, the decimal for this one is 0.083. So that's like 83 thousandths, and the 3 is repeating on and on and on again. And my decimal for that is 8.3%. Okay, so let me show you how I want you guys to do a summary over this video tonight. I kind of gave you some sentence starters in the whisk. It looks like this. So you're going to be able to choose from any three sentences to write your summary. So let me kind of give you an example. You could write down, you're going to finish these sentences for your summary. So I could say, I want to do this sentence, a rational number is, this sentence, I see a rational number, and this sentence, a pattern I noticed is. So you check any three sentences that you want to complete, and then for your summary, you use those sentences to write your summary. So I'm going to say, a rational number is a fraction, decimal, or a percent, or and a percent. Sorry, it's all three of those, and a percent. And that'd be your first sentence. Your next sentence would be, I see a rational number in my everyday life when I cook. I see fractions. So something like that. So you're going to use those sentences, and you can choose any three that you want to pick. You can actually write more, but I'm only going to want you guys to write three, and you're going to write your summary using these sentence starters. And then the very last thing is you have 2 questions to answer for the quiz part, and that is it. So I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow night we're going to check our homework. We're going to check our test for the homework tomorrow. All right, see you guys.